Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Been having fun with the series on the top selling varietals, the top selling wines in certain categories in Kings Market, the place where I work. It's been really fun to do that and getting a lot of good response from that. The Pinot Noir episode, $120 Pinot Noirs, just caught on fire. Really cool. Just shows you how many people really enjoy the subject of Pinot Noir. Well, as promised, today I'm going to do what I consider one my go-to rosés for this year. Now, I'm writing an article in my blog, stanthewineman.com, about the enigma of rosé and how people really don't start buying rosé until the sun comes out. It's really warm today. A lot of people would consider this a perfect day for rosé. Now I drink rosé year round. I just think it's a great wine. It's very versatile with food, very refreshing. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. I remember one person told me, why is it that during the winter nobody drinks really white wine or rosé, but they still drink beer? It's kind of a dilemma, isn't it? Anyway, I'm looking at 3 rosés that are very inexpensive but very good, and we're going to get started right into them. Now, these are rosés that I really like. This is a 2023 Le Veillé Ferme rosé, obviously from the Rhone Valley. This rolls in at $10, 12.5% alcohol. This one does not tell you the varietals. Rhone Valley, probably a lot of Grenache in this wine. So rosé is very good with food. I mean, you're talking salads, pork, fish, seafood, shellfish. It's just really a good wine with all of those things. And then, like I said, just coming home, having a glass of rosé any time of year is really, really enjoyable. All right, let's talk while we're doing this. Let's talk about the 4 different ways they make rosé. One of the ways they make rosé, and I'm not sure how many people do this, but when they press the grapes, they take the free run juice, and that becomes their rosé. Now that color is going to be very light because it gets very little skin contact. The other way they do it is called the Saignée method. That's where they allow the skin tack. They allow the juice to contact the skins depending on how long they want it to sit on those skins. Dictates how dark it could be, and it could anywhere just a few hours. They don't leave it on the skins very long. Then they drain the juice off that has the color. They use the rest of the grapes for that varietal. So let's say they're using Grenache. They drain that grape off. They drain the juice. They get the rosé, Grenache rosé. The rest of the grapes they use for their Grenache. So it adds some concentration to that wine. The other way they can do it is to mix red and white, which is a really bizarre method. I'm not sure how many people do that. There's probably a few that do that. So they mix the red and the white and they make a rosé. The other way is just to dedicate that juice to rosé. So they will press the grapes, they will ferment them on the skins for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever they want to do to get the color they want. Then they drain that juice and get rid of the rest of the grapes. So there's quite a few wineries that dedicate the grapes to rosé, which is probably the most expensive way to do it of those 3. We had Ashley Trout on the program not a few months ago, and she did a rosé that she vinified, I think it was 3 to 4 different grapes, all used for the rosé, nothing else. Pretty dedicated to rosé, if you ask me. So let's try the Le Veillé Ferme rosé from France. Let's see if it says where. It doesn't really just say it. It's a Vin de France, so but tell by the bottle shape that it is Rhone influenced. All right, color on this is very, very pale. I'm guessing some Grenache, mostly Grenache, maybe a little Cinsault. Don't know because it doesn't tell us. So on the nose you get a little bit of watermelon, cherry. I'm getting a touch of Dusty Rock minerality. So I said this was $10, really good value. Once again, that comes from purchasing several cases, and then you get the price. And I pass that on to the customer. I'm even get a little peach component coming through. A little peach, maybe some apricot. Let's see what we get on the palate. So that peach and apricot really comes through on the palate. A little bit of watermelon. Definitely some cherry notes there, especially on the finish. Good acidity, nice and fresh. Good flavor profile on this one. And then you get that nice kind of minerality on the backside. I like that kind of cherry watermelon combination with a little bit of that peach apricot coming through. So nice little rosé, very refreshing, very simple, not complex, but has some nice characteristics to it that I really like, and it's $10. So if you're going to drink, having some friends over and drinking lots of rosé, this is a really good one. I'm going to go C plus B minus on that one. I think it's a very nice rosé, above average, not super complex, but really good. Let's move on. So this is 2022, and I'm glad I'm doing this because I want to talk a little bit about older rosés. A lot of people are kind of, get a little bit of snooty, especially rosé, aficionados, and they don't think you should really drink rosé that's from 2022. It should be fresh. Now, this rosé is a Chemin de Provence, so obviously from Provence. This rolls in at $13. It's a 2022. It is 75% Grenache, 15% Syrah, 10% Cinsault, and like I said, it rolls in at $13. And my good friend Keith Johnson imports this, and I don't have a problem with a year-old rosé. Some rosés actually will age. You start getting into some Provence rosés, the Bandol region, Tavel, they'll age quite nicely. So I have no problem with that. Some people feel like the acidity, the freshness goes away. Let's see on this one. So again, same color, just a really pale kind of, going toward the kind of peach apricot color. Yeah, salmon. Let's go salmon. Let's see what we get on those. A lot of dusty minerality on those, which is really cool. Getting some herbal notes. Definitely some melon. Maybe a little bit of strawberry coming through. Yeah, strawberry, a little bit of maybe some mango notes as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. So the provincial herbs come through. They're not really strong. They're there. A lot of dusty rock minerality on this one. I get a little bit of that mango, kind of strawberry, watermelon thing coming through. Really refreshing. Still alive on the palate. It's a 2022. Very fresh, clean. Maybe some of the minerality is taking over because of the age. I don't know. I do like that kind of mango strawberry thing coming through. So good flavor profile. Good flavor profile. A nice, I like that kind of minerality on this wine. I like just a touch, a kiss, as I'd say, of herbal notes coming through with that kind of mango, strawberry, cherry thing going on. I like it. I like it. Very nice rosé. And again, $13 from Provence. It's always nice to get a Provence rosé for that price. And I'm going to go B minus on that. I think it's a nice rosé. I like it a lot. Let's move on to the Domaine Clos de Lumière L'Eclat Côte de Rhône Rosé 2023. This also rolls in at $13. It is 40% Cinsault, 30% Grenache, 20% Syrah, 10% Mourvedre. So I like it when they put the grapes on there. It's kind of cool. Good job, guys. And I'm just going to, here's the label, $13. And this rolls in, yeah. And this is, I'm just going to read the alcohol real quick. 13.5 on this one. This one was 12.5. So these two were lower alcohol. This a little bit more. Color, I think, is just a little bit stronger, a little darker salmon, maybe a little bit of peach coming through in that one. Let's see what we get on the nose. Get like a, this is kind of weird. Get a little menthol, cherries, mango on this one as well. Kind of a little, not a lot, just a kiss of watermelon. Kind of a, yeah, a little bit of a pink flower component coming through. Let's see what we get on the palate. This one has a little more texture in the mouth. I really get the kind of mango, cherry flavors coming through big time. With a little bit of that peach, a little peach in there as well. This has some complexity to it. But at the same time it's dry, and I think that's what a lot of people like with rosé. I think newbies sometimes like to get a little bit more fruit on them. This might work that way, but it's still very dry. I think even a rosé fanatic would like this one quite a bit. I really like the texture on this one, remaining dry with a little bit of minerality on the back end. I'm even getting a touch of white pepper, which would come from the Grenache. Grenache adds spice to wines. I like this one. It sticks on the palate without being too fruity. If you could even call this fruity, that's a stretch, but it does have some flavors to it. These other ones are a little drier, not quite as fruit driven, whereas this one has a little bit of that fruit but still remains dry, and I like that. I'm even getting a little bit of an herbal component right on the back of the finish, which is really cool. Nice rosé, and like I said, these three are kind of my go-to rosés for right now. Mostly because of the price. I think they're really well priced for the quality of the wine, and I just like these wines. And so I'm going to go B, hedging towards B+ on the Clos de Lumière L'Éclat Côte de Rhône Rosé. There you have it, kind of my go-to rosés for this year. Now I might run across a couple more before the end of the summer, but you know, I love rosé. I drink it all the time, and it's I wanted to share this with you, and these are very well valued, very well priced rosé. So how do you feel about rosé? And now, which method of making rosé do you think is the most economical, and the one that you would say, well, I could go with that? And do you drink rosé year-round? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see what's coming up next. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.